That's Ponce and the beautiful mountains that surround it. My favorite albums of 1974. This was a struggle. Just to find 10 albums that I have from 1974. This must have been like the big year of nothing? I don't know. I guess it was nothing in my life. With the albums that I've brought back in, 74 seems to really be lacking in substance. Well, no, I have substance. It's lacking in quantity. Yeah, quantity is the word. I mean, so many groups actually did not put out any records. They did in 73, then 75. Even like Fela Kuti, he's put out 5 billion. He was putting out 6 albums a year. In 1974, he just says, nothing. Forget it. I'm not doing it. And punk hadn't quite started, so I didn't have anything from there. Oh my, it was rough. But I have some stuff. So let's look at what I picked to be, excuse me, the best albums in my collection from 1974, or the 10 I have. How about that? Okay, I don't even have a Almost Made It album. But these are ones I like because I did bring them back. And the first is Graham Parsons' Grievous Angel. And that's on the Reprise label. You pick, you decide which one to call it. I am not a huge fan of country rock. Not a huge fan of Eagles, not Burrito Brothers. I don't mind it, but it's not something I'm generally going to put on. But I do like this album. What makes this album for me is the vocals of Emmylou Harris. How she comes in with her harmonies and takes his songs and brings it to a whole different level. Their version of Love Hurts is just incredible. I mean, it's so beautiful. But there's a lot of great stuff on here. And it's just Emmylou Harris, for me, it makes this album great. And so I really wanted to have this thing back. And of course, he died. She went on to a great solo career. So number 10. Number 9. There's a nice Japanese pressing of Brian Eno's Taking Tiger Mountain by Strategy. Taking Tiger Mountain by Strategy. That's my original. So I did have an original. Very good Eno album. In fact, this is considered one of his classics. It's interesting what happened. He had, like Fripp was with him. How they took the guitars and suddenly they made these guitars sound like machines. The experimentation that went on here was pretty incredible. And Eno his voice is great. It all makes good sense. It's something totally different. It almost seems futuristic for the time. But he made just an incredibly solid album that just some really beautiful music. Nothing outlandish. Kind of quiet, but yet there's something happening, something really different. So number 9, Taking Tiger Mountain by Strategy, which hey, but there's an album title for you. Number 8, we have The Meters, Rejuvenation. This is another masterpiece from this group. What they did with it. Oh, it's Reprise again. That label. And hey, let's see here. They took, this was, just the inner sleeve, which are really cool when you find these original inner sleeves. They took their New Orleans soul, which they owned, and they added in some Sly Stone funk. And it was this mixing, and they put these two together. So this became even funkier, but with a Sly Stone and with the Sly and the Family Stone feel to it. And that's what really made this thing great. And there's the Vinyl Me Please reissue that came out, and I had this original already, but I thought, you know what, this is such a good album. And for me, if I had one Meters album, and I have two, but if I had one, this is the one that I have to have. It is just fantastic music for those that like to dance, for those that like to get up and boogie and party. You cannot go wrong with the Meters Rejuvenation. Number 6. That's the greatest hits. That's Santana. I didn't have Elton John's greatest hits. That also came out in 1974. So maybe that was the time of greatest hits that were coming out. This is a repress. It was part of my original Order of Columbia house where I really focused on greatest hits because I had no idea who Santana was. This introduced me to the Latin rock. This introduced me to Latin rhythms. This made me a lover of that sound. And as I have gotten older, I have found a deeper and deeper attraction to anything with a lot of percussion, with a lot of conga, whatever else is happening, that Latin feel. But this really was the one that did it. And it was so different. I mean, I had no idea what I was getting. I just thought, oh, greatest hits, I'll try this. In evil ways, I loved that. Black Magic Woman, Oye como va, se acabó. Man, those were so good. Hope you're feeling better. Jingo. It's packed with goodness. It's greatest hits, and they did a great job with it because those first albums from Santana were by far, to me, the very best and what I need to have, and this put it all together. So super good on that. Happy to have that. So that was number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. I never know where I'm at. 5. 5 some heat. This is wonderful. Hound Dog Taylor. Natural Boogie. My God. This is Boogie Blues. This is blues from on Alligator Record. Alligator Record was created for Hound Dog Taylor because he wasn't getting anywhere. No one was putting out his stuff. And so they created this record label so they could put his music out there. And it is incredibly good. There's a couple of Hound Dog Taylor albums, and there's live, and they're all worth getting. Fast-paced. It is, you have an Elmore James feel going on, but this guy could make that guitar sing. There was fuzz and there, reverb going on, and just great singing himself. It is so darn good. Man, huge fan. He's one of my all-time favorite bluesmen. Coming in, he's out of Chicago, and he got the electric blues. He understood the electric blues. And if I'm playing a blues album, 50% chance Hound Dog Taylor's going on because it's that good. Number 4, Lou Reed, Rock and Roll Animal. Scary, and this is before zombies even. Man, oh man. This was into our glam stage. And look at him. He's glammed up for sure. This is the Velvet Underground in a hard rock, with a hard rock band behind him. That's what it's like. Lou Reed's there. He's playing Sweet Jane, Heroin, White Light, White Heat, then Rock and Roll. All of those were in the Velvet Underground. Then he has Lady Day. It is so incredibly good to hear these VU songs in a hard rocking type atmosphere. I mean, he just blows it away. It is so good. And so you have his voice, but yet what's behind it is just incredibly good. What a great live album for those fans of the Velvet Underground. If you like his solo work, this may not be your favorite album, but for fans of the Velvet Underground, Rock and Roll Animal, it's a must. It really is. I think that was number 5. We've lost count. We'll go with that number 5 because I got 4 more records. I just showed this from Benny DJ. He sent this in to me. And one that I was missing, and Sparks Propaganda. I talked about it just in a recent episode. It is an album. And it was funny how a lot of people commented. I saw him 1975 on American Bandstand. And how many other comments? I saw them too. Wasn't that something? And it isn't that exciting. You think of groups like the Beatles. So the Beatles show up. And, what happened? Everybody wanted to have a band. There they were on TV. Well, they're not the Beatles. But yet they inspired people. They got me excited. It's just that they didn't hold my excitement like the Beatles held everybody else. I moved on. But this album was so good because it's what they played on the bandstand. Music from this. And it's quirky. It's fun. And it just, oh my God, BC, Betty, Betty, get back here, BC, Charlie, Charlie, get back here. You're conveniently forgetting our little wedding, so happy all are we. Okay, I'm sorry, there we go. You know what? You can't help but sing when you talk about music. It doesn't matter if you can sing or not sing. It just doesn't matter because that's the beauty of music. They have a song on here called Achoo. Achoo, 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 achoo. I mean, seriously, that's a lot of the lyrics. I mean, if you can say achoo, you can sing quite a bit of it. Bon Voyage is on here. Reinforcements, reinforcements. Gonna fend our rear guard. Just crazy crap. Excellent. Jeez. Favorite Sparks album. Kimono My House is extremely good. Indiscreet, extremely good. But this one cracks me up. Number 3, which in the past, this is their third. This is Zamrock. This is Zamrock at its best. This is a quieter album than their first and quieter than their third. They actually play some acoustic, but there's this crazy good organ going on, and their guitar playing is top notch. It just starts with Living in the Past, and it's a quieter song, but it's beautiful. Their vocals are phenomenal. It's done in English because Zambia was part of England, part of South Africa, so that's what they sing. And it's not political. It's just some high schoolers making music. And they made some really, really incredible music, and they've been reissuing it. So you had Introduction was the first one. Then comes this, In the Past. And then comes Lazy Bones, which is the greatest of all of them, in my opinion. But you cannot go wrong with this. It's actually a very beautiful album. It doesn't put you to sleep. There's still enough interesting things going on. But wow, 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 wow. Great stuff. Funk. I love funk. Betty Davis' second album. Number 2. Late to the party on Betty Davis. About 4 or 5 years ago, actually. Andrew Tales from the Crate, a channel that I sorely miss, and I just the greatest. He was my favorite channel. And he introduced me to this along with so many other things. And this is, you can buy this. It's a repress that's out there. And it's worth getting. If you like funk and you don't have Betty Davis, her first 2 albums are the keys. Those are the main ones. It's just, I've said it a million times, dirty funk. The kind that, her voice is gravelly, but it's sexual. I mean, you have to take a shower after you listen to this. It's that much. And she just brings it out on every song. and it did nothing. I mean, just no one gave a crap. But no one knew what to do with her because she was so sexual. What are you going to do? You can't. Well, the general public was not going to accept Betty Davis and what she did, and she out in her hot pants and stuff like that. It wasn't going to happen. So the record companies are just going, I don't know. And she's kind of really pissed off at everything because no one's promoting her, but they don't know how to. Everyone's afraid they're going to get censored, shut down, or whatever. But the best funk that you can find, it is Betty Davis. And my favorite album, 1974. Quite honestly, I know this will be on everyone's list as number one album for those that do this because there is no better album. Not Fragile. This is my history. This is the album. This is memories. It may not be the best written album. It may not have the best songs, but for me, it is my favorite album. It is the one that I've listened to more than any other album. Probably any other album in my collection. I got it early on. I knew about it. This is one of the few rock groups I actually knew who the heck they were. This is their masterpiece. They came out with this. It rocked. But the interesting thing about them, so you have Randy Bachman, who sings quieter. He would do the slower songs. Then comes C.F. Turner with his gravelly voice, and he just does hard charging, hard rocking songs. So you start with Not Fragile, and that's C.F. Turner. Then it goes on, Rock is My Life. Well, that's Randy Bachman. Then it goes on to, And This Is My Song. That's C.F. Turner. And then on Rolling Down the Highway, Randy Bachman. Back and forth, back and forth. Yeah, they could have done one side of C.F. Turner, one side of Randy Bachman. That kind of would have been cool, but hey, doesn't matter. I adore this album. I've loved it forever. It was so important. This is one that I had to have back in the collection, no doubt about it, because it is, as a teenager, this is really what said, hey, besides what's on the AM radio, there's this. And, it was because it was played in the locker room for 2 years straight. The only 8-track, that Seals and Crofts that we had. And I memorized it. I love it. So number one from 1974, right there in my heart. There we have it. Okay. Gosh darn, I still went 17 minutes. Thank you for going through 1974 with me. Time travel. So much good stuff there, and I hope you saw a nice variety of great things. And you saw all my albums that I have from 1974 that I know of. There may be some other crap I don't even know I got. Who knows? Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your week. Bye.